Adam again. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. I hope all you had a chipper and blessed day. Today I will be doing my response video for Clint over at Swing Away Sportscards. An awesome guy, great channel, and he just hit his YouTube anniversary, so congrats, Clint. In lieu of that milestone, he is going to do a response video giveaway challenge contest on his channel. And his request is for us to share a fantasy draft team lineup, a baseball lineup. I will sit there and stack a lineup together for y'all very shortly. But his other request is for us to shout out one to three channels that has 200 subscribers or less. I'm going to shout out 5, so let's shout them out. The first shout out goes to REK Sports Cards and Collectibles. The next one is Mountain Family Cards. The next one is Leaf Fan Down Under. The next one is going to be Bomb Luck Collector. And the next one is Big Chief Sports Cards. I'm not sure why these guys don't have more than 200 subscribers. They deserve many, many more. So won't you please be one of the many, many more? And go check them out if you haven't already. So now back to Mr. Clint at Swing Away Sports Cards. Just a great guy, great channel, got a great little contest. I will leave the link to that contest so you can hear the full details to the contest in case I missed something other. So please also sub to him while you're there if you haven't already. So before I jump into my lineup though, one last order of business. I would like to share some cards from Clint's favorite sports team, which is the San Francisco Giants. So I'm gonna share some of my favorite Giants cards of Mr. Mays. Willie Mays, that is, the Say Hey Kid. So I got the 65 home run leaders card. I got the Deca, the 65 tops, the 68 tops, and then the 59 tops. All of these are very beautiful examples of the cards. Maybe just the normal little corners here or there, no creases. You know, some of the off-centering stuff, but I still just love these cards very much. You can't go wrong with some Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. So shout out to the San Francisco Giants and Mr. Clint. But now let's go ahead and jump into this lineup and sit there and see who and what we got going on there. Alrighty, we're going to start over at first base. I was thinking about picking Pete Alonso and all those home runs that he could hit, but I had to pass on him because of this bad boy right here. Freddy Freeman, the franchise. The former MVP and the World Series champ, Freddy. But as painful as it is for me to say, I even had to pass on him because of this monster right here, Vladdy Jr. He nearly won the Triple Crown last year. Lots of firepower in his bat, so I went with him for my first baseman. So we're going to go ahead and move over to the second base position now and see who I picked. Did I pick Jose Altuve? No, I didn't. But he was a solid choice and another former MVP that I had to pass on for this guy right here. This will be my second baseman, Ozzy Albee. He hit 30 home runs and 100 RBIs last year. He's improved every single year that he's been in the major leagues, and I expect nothing less this year. So I think that's a solid choice for my second base, and that is my pick. So now we're going to move over to shortstop now. I had a couple of extra choices here that I passed on. The first one is going to be Horner, up-and-comer shortstop. The former batting champ, Tim Anderson, I even passed on him. Now, these last two were very hard choices, whether I was going to pick the one over the other. And I did sit there and pass on Bo Bichette as well. Great potential to sit there and put me up some big numbers, but I just felt like Tatis Jr. was the way to go. He's got more potential to put up bigger numbers, so that is my shortstop. Hopefully, he would stay in the lineup, but nowadays you got to hope that for all your players. So we're going to move on over to third base now and check out my choices there. I sit there and passed up on India, the Rookie of the Year. Solid choice, though. I even passed up on Chris Bryant. The future potential Hall of Famer, Nolan Arenado, I even passed up on him for this guy right here. The prognosticators, the analysts and all that sit there and say this guy has a very high ceiling and just the sky's the limit in the future. And it is, of course, my boy, Austin Riley. He sit there and put up MVP numbers last year and was actually the most consistent Braves player all year long as well. So that's my pick for my third baseman. Let's go. All right, now we're going to move into the outfield. And I'm going to show you the two choices that I passed up on that I thought basically had great promise to put in the lineup. Didn't think I could go wrong with them if I did. The first one is going to be Randy Arozarena. He sat there and teamed up with that new nucleus that they got going on down there. Has high potential in my belief. But I even passed on him. And the other player I passed up on out in the outfield as well is Mr. Lewis Robert. Sit there and passed up on him as well. And you'll sit there and see why with the three studs that I put out in my outfield. The first player in my outfield is going to be Juan Soto on this nice, beautiful color wheel. Sit there and chose that card. I just love this card. It's a case hit that I pulled out of a pack myself last year. And just love that. So that is my first outfielder. My second outfielder is a lot of people would consider as the best player in the game right now. That's going to be Mike Trout. Now, who's going to take the last position in the outfield is, bam, Ronald Lacuna Jr. He was considered the MVP favorite before he got injured or whatnot last year. So hopefully he can stay healthy and help put up some big stats for my actual Braves team this year, not just this make-up fantasy team here, but I would love for him to actually help my Braves out this year. All right, so now we're going to move on to our pitching position. And I know this picture of Ohtani here is him batting or whatnot, but he would make it for a strong candidate for a starting pitcher on a team because he would be able to hit in the National League as well for my team. Another choice would be Jacob deGrom. Many considered him the best pitcher in baseball the last few years, but of course he was out last year injured. But the person I chose is this guy right here, Ian Anderson. Why did I pick him? Because I want somebody that can not only pitch in the regular season, but pitch in the postseason. And if you check out his record, he was 4-0 last year in the postseason. Yes, 4-0. He is on a magnificent start to a bright, promising future. I think he reminds me a lot of John Smoltz. And of course, if you don't know, John Smoltz was had 19 wins in the playoffs. 19 wins in the playoffs. That's second most all time. And Ian Anderson is already 4-0 in his very first postseason. So boom, there we go. So now moving on to my designated hitter position. I had two choices for my lineup. The first one being Yordan Alvarez. I think this dude has mad potential. He kind of reminds me of Ortiz a little bit in the potential that he could put up with over 500 home runs throughout his career or whatnot. But the guy I'm going to choose is actually Shohei Ohtani. I think this dude can just hit the ball with the best of them. And, of course, if I needed the backup pitcher, he can come in and once again pitch for me as well. So, bam, I'm picking Shohei Ohtani for my designated hitter. All right, last position, but not least, is the catcher position. What in the olden days, a lot of people considered the captain of the team, the leader of the team. And hence why I initially sit there and said, even though he might not necessarily put up the biggest stats, but you got to have a leader, a captain, somebody like Yadier Molina. That would have been a great prospect for my lineup, my team. And another choice I was thinking about was Wilson Contreras, another great solid catcher. Is able to do a lot of things for the team or whatnot. But I sit there and even passed on him as well for this guy right here, Joey Bart. I think he has a chance to sit there and fill in what Posey was doing with that nice little lineup. They sit there and say he's just a great hitter or whatnot. And looking for some pop potentially in that lineup as well, even in the catcher position. So it shows Joey Bart. And also that's because my boy Clint is a San Francisco Giants fan. So I'm sitting there trying to, quote, cater to the host of the contest a little bit as well. But all that being said and said, I think that's a really cool card. And I wanted to show it off for Clint as well. And once again, I think he has unlimited potential as well, because he's been tearing it up in the minor leagues as well. So I don't think I can go wrong with that. The only other pick I might have picked was Salvador Perez, but I didn't really have any of his cards, so I went with Joey Bart instead. But anyways, that's my lineup. Let me know how you think I did. Please check out all the channels. Please, everybody, take care, stay safe, and stay chipper, I think is what I'm supposed to be saying. But anyways, peace out. Bye.